Everybody knows Venom. I mean, he's this guy.
Here it is, the records room.
Surf the web, surf the web.
Shut up, Brock, we don't have time.
You know, the big goopy, sometimes a villain, sometimes a lethal protector of the innocent, and sometimes just a straight-up hero. He's kinda timeless. I mean, Venom has been adapted into basically every single Spider-Man property that could fit him in. From movies, to games, to shows, you name it. Venom's had his big goopy grippers all over it. And of course, we know his story. Venom is the creation of a sinister bonding between an alien symbiote and a disgraced former reporter known as Eddie Brock. Together, their scornful hatred of Spider-Man, mingled with the warped sense of justice, make for an extremely unpredictable force of nature that routinely ends in a lot of New York property damage. Unless, of course, your movie Venom, which is just the story of a man and an alien who are very gay and very in love with each other.
Yeah. You do love me.
No, I do not.
You do.
I do not.
You do.
I love you.
Yes, you do.
Not one bit.
You do.
Not at all.
Love me.
No, not at all.
You do.
I do not.
You do.
Not at all.
That's the face of a man that's in love.
With who?
You want to see the gay agenda in action? It's Venom, baby. It's Venom. I can see the headlines now. Venom woke? Pronouns in your alien slime? It's more likely than you think. Oh, and if you're Insomniac Venom, you're the half-baked hodgepodge of "You're a fraud, Spider-Man" 2.0 and some goop that has no characterization beyond saying "Heal the world" over and over again like it's pretending to have depth or something. Yeah, Insomniac Venom is kinda ass, but he is a diamond, a faint kiss upon the wind, the money your grandma slips to you when you're going for a hug, compared to Ultimate Venom. What? I hear you asking? But Sin, Ultimate Venom is goated. The video game was absolutely peak. Peak, I say. You get to kill a child with a balloon in his first appearance in the game. And to that I say, hell yes, you little shit! Yeah, who's getting your stupid balloon now, huh? To that I say, the Ultimate Spider-Man video game is not the comic. It's a lot better, actually, despite the two having the exact same writer. Look, I don't know what Brian Michael Bendis was smoking when he wrote this script, but I don't want it. Seriously. Look, I've been beating around the bush here for a while, so I'm just gonna get right to the point, come out and say it, you know? Eddie Brock is a pedophile in the comic. Yeah. In Ultimate Spider-Man issue 33, Eddie Brock is first introduced. Just like the game, he's a childhood friend of Peter. He's kind of a gross-ass, ugly little goatee-wearing college student who probably listens to Eminem and thinks vaping makes him look hot. And let me just say, that's all we needed. Like, we're already not rooting for the guy. He's kind of a dick. He's a bad roommate, he's a womanizer, and he's very manipulative to Peter. Bendis, that's all we needed. But no, as Peter is fighting for his fucking life as the symbiote tries to eat him from the inside, Eddie and Gwen are chillin' in his dorm room. And this adult college man in his 20s goes in for a kiss on 15-year-old Gwen Stacy. And when she rejects him, he goes all Andrew Tate and is like, "But I deserve it. You're the one who drew me in. I'm a Sigma male. It's my right, yo." So of course, she gives him the boot and she gets the fuck out of there. After this, things progress much the same way the game did. Peter gets rid of the suit, he burns it, Eddie finds out, and surprise, surprise, has a backup jar of goop. Enter Venom, who only lasts for about a quarter of a single issue. He has one fight with Peter, where it's very clear the symbiote is just puppeting him in an attempt to, again, eat Peter, and then he gets electrocuted and fucks off for like 50 issues before we ever see him again. If it's not clear that Bendis wasn't super down to do Venom in Ultimate, then let me further convince you. It's like this whole issue, despite being pretty damn well written, and a highlight of the run, is kinda just written out of spite for the character. Aside from making Eddie a disgusting man-child going after a teen, the symbiote itself takes a major back seat in the story it's meant to be a catalyst for. We never learn what it really is, what it does, why this cancer-curing device turns people into big, goopy monsters. It's just a plot device that keeps the pace chugging along at a breakneck speed. I mean, in one single issue, Peter gets the black suit, he has a great time kicking the shit out of Shocker, he loses control and has to get rid of it, Eddie gets the symbiote, becomes Venom, he and Peter fight, and Venom is ultimately defeated. It all happens so fast, it's like Bendis was desperate to get this shit over with. And it's clear he had no intentions of adapting the stellar video game that everybody loved in any way beyond the origin. Because remember how Eddie can't control the symbiote in the game until he absorbs Carnage? And then he gets the classic white spider symbol and becomes more like comic Venom, being a mix of the monstrous symbiote and the vengeful Eddie fueled by a corrupted sense of justice?
Yes. Eddie? Eddie, what's going on?
I have absolute, total control. Now then, I have a score to settle.
Which way do you figure?
Trask's offices.
Well, that happens in the comic, only it's fucking terrible. See, we don't see Ultimate Venom again for a long-ass time after his first appearance, and when we do see him again, it's clear Bendis forgot about what the fuck his Eddie symbiote dynamic was supposed to be. I mean, it was barely there, but it was there. Eddie was a puppet, a terrified puppet, being driven by the symbiote's need to consume Peter Parker. He was not down to clown with whatever was happening, and it was clear the suit was eating him alive the longer he wore it. But when we see him again, and he loses the symbiote that was previously killing him, he wants it back, as though he's comic Eddie and he and the symbiote are very gay and very romantically involved with each other. Oh, and Gwen is Carnage. Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man really went off the rails about 40 issues in and never recovered. It's barely explained, especially given that the Carnage symbiote was never a symbiote in the comics, rather an imperfect clone of Peter's dad, mingled with the cells of the Venom symbiote. I don't know, it's barely explained. Look, I hate this comic, man. Can I say that? Can I say that Ultimate Spider-Man is mid? Please? Look, I know I love the OG Clone Saga. You can clown on me all you like for that. But at least I liked the characters in it. At least it had insanely good writers that genuinely seemed to be enjoying what they wrote, for the most part. This just feels wrong. So yeah, Gwen is Carnage, she reawakens the symbiote cells in Eddie, they have a symbi brawl that lasts 1 page, and Venom absorbs Carnage like he did in the game. Do we get an epic scene where Eddie finally gains full control and gets the classic spider symbol like we did in the game? No. He becomes this fucking thing, the worst Venom design by a wide margin, and he leaves. Yada yada yada, he eats some people on a park bench in an homage to Forrest Gump, and he gets kidnapped by the Beetle, who is working for some shadowy organization with goals we don't yet know. And that's it. That's the last time we see Ultimate Eddie or Venom. I'm not kidding. This man has not been spotted once, to this day. I don't even remember if we ever see Beetle again either. Venom, the Beetle, the shadow organization they were working for, they're never even brought up again. It should be crystal clear to you by now, my lovely true believers in symbiote simps, that Bendis was not down to write Venom in any capacity. He did a little less than the bare minimum and managed to stall ever having to write him again until he could end his and Peter's misery with Death of Spider-Man. And you know what? When he wrote Miles Morales fighting the Ultimate Venom symbiote years later, it's a totally different guy. Again, Eddie is not even mentioned once. He's gone. I mean, as he should be. He's a fucking pedophile. But at least finish his story, man. Come on, Bendis. You could have just killed him off like a competent writer. This just feels lazy. Anyways, I rest my case. Ultimate Venom sucks. Now, before we end this off, I'd like to give a very warm thank you to Alex the Awesome, Super 8-Bittable, Ubeck, Queen Crimson, and Caroline Wooden for becoming members of the channel. If you'd like to join yourself, It's only 99 cents per month. I'd super duper appreciate ya, and you get access to super cool stuff like a certified Spidey badge, exclusive streams, early access to all my videos, and of course, a shout out at the end of all of my long form videos. So, thank you so much for stopping by, have a great night, and as always, this is the Synth Voice Network, signing off for the night.